I'm the clerk. We call the meeting of economic development to order. Please roll call.
Commissioner Ware. Commissioner Varga.
Here.
Commissioner Palomero.
Here.
Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Here.
Commissioner Baydoun.
Here.
Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
Chair Hattis.
Present.
We have a quorum present.
Next item, please.
B, approval of the May 12th, 2020 meeting minutes.
So moved. Baldwin.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion?
Who supported?
Varga.
Okay.
Motion been made and supported, and I hear no discussion. All those who agree signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose, motion carried. Next item.
D, old business. There is none.
Thank you. Next one.
Item D1, under new business, communication from Khalil Rahal, Assistant County Executive, forwarding the Economic Development Department, Community Development Division's reprogramming of $471,673 of previously unallocated funds from the Federal Home Investment Partnerships Program of the 2019 Annual Action Plan.
Is Mr. Rahal with us today?
Mr. Chairman, Terry Carroll, I think I'll take that one if you don't mind.
No, we don't mind at all listening to you sometime, even if we don't agree. Go ahead, Mr. Carroll. Good to hear from you.
This action is to program previously unallocated from the county to any project 2019 home dollars. This becomes part of a much larger sum that will move to Wayne Metropolitan Community Action Agency to fund a little more than $3.5 million in tenant-based rental assistance. This we're taking advantage of a recent waiver by the federal government that allows us to put more than the traditional cap into tenant-based rental assistance. And what we have preliminarily discussed with Wayne Metro is that they will stick with their income cap, which is much lower than the federal cap. Their cap is 200% of poverty level, where the federal cap is usually 50% of AMI. There's a vast difference there. And the other thing that we've asked them—
Can you explain what's AMI?
Average monthly income. What the feds do is they the Detroit, the southeastern Michigan area is known as a statistical market area, where they come in every so often and establish average monthly income, among other things. And the standard that we're asking Wayne Metro to use is much below that 50% that the federal regulations allow for. And then what in addition we're asking for is that the Wayne Metro enter into agreements with each one of these families that will be assisted with tenant-based rental assistance that will not exceed 3 months. So in order to, excuse me, in order to get the money spread around as much as possible, we're going to ask that they limit it to 3 months. And they rolled this program out, their local program out about 2 weeks ago, and they already have a substantial number of applications from people who have lost their jobs as a result of COVID-19. We expect that when the state prohibition on evictions ends in July, that number will skyrocket. So this becomes part of reprogrammings of 2017, 2018, and putting the money in from the CDBG COVID as we did last Thursday in your regular session. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you have at this time.
Any question for Mr. Carroll?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Glenn Anderson.
Mr. Anderson?
Thank you. Terry, I just wondered if you could provide us a list of those communities. I'm assuming this is recaptured dollars from unallocated funds. Is this from the CDBG money, it sounds like?
No, this is all home money, Commissioner.
Okay.
That was never allocated to any project and has just been sitting there in our allocation at the federal level.
Okay. The other question I have is, it seems to be built around tenants. Is that exclusive, required language from the feds, or can it not help people that are low to moderate income that are buying their home to hopefully avoid them going into foreclosure?
We're asking that question right now, Commissioner. The reg makes it sound like it can only be rental assistance. We're asking if any of the waivers that have recently been enacted might be able to allow us to expand it to people to pay their mortgages.
Yeah, I would just hate to see us, certainly if it's required by the feds, it'd only be renters. I'd hate to see, if it's not, I should say, that I'd hate to see us exclude people that are struggling to hold on to their home that they're buying and then wind up in foreclosure, that's all. And it sounds like you're checking into that.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Weir. Excuse me for interrupting. I just received 2 calls from staff. I need to tell you I was on the call. I believe my phone was mute. I thought that she heard me, but I have been on the call since 10 o'clock.
Point well taken, Commissioner Ware.
And I thank the staff for texting me.
Thank you. Commissioner Anderson, I agree with you 100% on not exclude the people who struggling to pay their mortgage and end up in foreclosure, a problem created by problem when they have some money was sitting in the federal account, not in the county or the local, not allocated to anything. And I think now they just, I really happy to see them let us use that money. So I think Mr. Carroll, it's been working on it, and I hope we get positive answer for it. And Mr. Carroll will let us know as soon as he hears from them.
Yes, sir. And if nothing else, what this injection will do, it will allow Wayne Metro to move money over that they would have had to spend on rental into helping people with mortgages.
Thank you. Any other question for Mr. Carroll?
Margo,
Yes,
I have
this
my
is Commissioner McCormick as well. So whoever.
Okay, Varga, then McCormick.
Did you say they will go back 3 months on the rental?
Our contract with them that will be coming to you for execution very shortly will allow them to charge back eligible expenditures to March 27th, 2020.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking about people who have their contracts, our land contracts, or rent to own, and that would be very good to cover. I agree. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner McCormick?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So Detroit is not included in the communities. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And will there be a report that is issued as to the number of people that are helped with this program?
Yes, Wayne Metro will have to provide us. They're doing the accumulation of statistics so that we have the documentation available for HUD to come in and look at later on. And we'll put that together in some aggregate form and get it to you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other question for Mr. Carroll?
Through the chair, this is Joe.
Joe?
Yeah, just to let you know, this item number 1 is a receive and file. There are similar allocations for 2017, 2018 that as of late yesterday afternoon, we're not in our queue yet, but they're on the way. So that'll be for those two, similar to what Terry was talking about today for 19. They'll be hopefully for our next EDC meeting.
Thank you, Joe. Point well taken.
Mr. Commissioner, we also hope to have back in time at the same time the actual contract with Wayne Metro that will include all those years in one subrecipient contract, because that's the way that we allocate home dollars, which are a little different than CDBG allocations, because when you do your annual plan approval in June of each year, we are given directed authority on CDBG, but home dollars are actually committed and allocated only when we bring back individual contracts to you. So we would hope to bring back at the same time you'd be considering the 2017, 2018 home receiving files. We would hope to have a contract back for you to consider for the overall program.
Excellent. Good. Any other question for Mr. Carroll? If not,
Varga, I have my hand up.
Okay, Commissioner Varga.
Mr. Carroll, when did we file the amendment to HUD that we passed last week?
It will be, we just got the certifications late yesterday signed. It will be filed by the end of today, probably by lunch.
Okay. Is it okay if I give your phone number to Ms. Christensen, who is from Lincoln Park?
Oh, she has my phone number.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's been at me every day, so I just wanted to make sure that I covered my base, and she really worked hard on it, so that's like we all do on all of our projects. So she wants to see it come to fruition. Thank you.
Any other question? Mr. Anderson, I think you muted. Somebody trying to make a motion to receive and file.
Make a motion to receive and file.
Support, Varga.
Motion been made and supported. All those who agree signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose, motion carried. Next item.
Thank you.
Item 2, an update from the Economic Development Department on the Wayne County TCF Bank Small Business Loan Program.
Thank you. We have with us Wafa Dinero, and she's gonna give us update.
Yep.
Give me just a
Wafat?
second. Let me just share my screen and we can go from there. All right. Can everybody see?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna go through not just the TCF, but we're just gonna give you an overall economic development update here.
Excellent.
So we have been holding regular community meetings every Friday with the communities as well as the chambers, and we've been doing work groups, and we've kind of been talking through what support the communities need, what support the chambers need, what they're hearing from small businesses. And some of the things that have come out of that, we're going to go through what we've been doing. We're providing, we have asked all of the communities to provide us with any infrastructure projects they have. Through the CARES Act, the Economic Development Administration has grants for infrastructure projects. So for sewer, roads, anything that has an economic development impact, there is grant money available. We are individually reaching out to every community to tell them that it's available and to help them write the grants and walk them through the grants. There's a lot of money out there through the CARES Act, and we want to make sure every single dollar we can get can come back to Wayne County. We're currently providing webinars, the weekly work groups, and we are doing an outdoor dining initiative. Because of the return to work, the restaurants have reduced capacity to 50%. In order for restaurants to remain profitable, they have to expand that capacity. So we've been working with local municipalities on having streamlining their processes to be able to do outdoor dining, to be able to close down streets for weekends, to be able to bring the tables and chairs out into the streets or into the parking lots, and be able to continue to socially distance while expanding the restaurant's capacity. So one of the webinars that we're doing, we had a webinar this morning specifically targeted at retail businesses. We're teaming up with the SBDC. We're going to be doing a series of these as we hear from small businesses what they need. So this is going to be a series. Today was our first one specifically targeted at retail businesses. We're going to be doing it for restaurants and really across industries, so people know what they should be doing, how they should be doing it, and can have a place to ask their questions. All of these webinars are housed on our website, so people can go back. If they can't watch it today at 9 a.m., they can go back and watch it at a different time. So we have created one-pagers as well as a large toolkit that's also housed on our website. We have these one-pagers that kind of are best practices for businesses. The one-pagers we have for salons, we have for restaurants, we have for really all the large industries that we have been giving to our partners so they can easily digest the information. It's not a giant book. They can just look at it and know exactly what they need to do. The outdoor dining that I had briefly talked about, we are, restaurants are using their private parking lots for outdoor dining. We're working with every single municipality. We're talking to them, trying to help them streamline their permitting process so that they can do this. And we are, giving out the recommendations for how to properly do it and how to safely do it. So the TCF loan, it has really slowed down. I think with businesses reopening and with more resources becoming available through the federal government, there hasn't been a whole lot of new loans there hasn't been a whole lot of need. So this is kind of the breakdown, the funds that have been spent. Of the $6 million of CDE money, we have spent about almost 2.4 million, and of the $4 million from 2 million of which is general fund money, we've spent about 1.9. This is kind of the graph. You see it kind of peaked the week of April 5th, and it's been steadily going downwards because the PPP program became available, the EIDL became available, and businesses are slowly starting to open. So there's less need to take on more loans and take on more risk. And the biggest concern that we've been hearing is that it's a loan. It's going to be a balloon payment at the end of 6 months, and there's a concern from business owners that they don't know if there's going to be a second wave and there's going to be another shutdown, and if they're going to be able to pay back the loan in 6 months if there is another shutdown. So this is kind of the breakdown of the businesses that have been provided assistance. Everybody should have a copy of these, and it just kind of breaks down how long they've been in business. I mean, a lot of these businesses have been around for a really long time. And this is kind of the businesses that have like the search criteria. This is kind of, we're mostly helping restaurants, service industries. It looks like there's hair salons is also a big one. The size of the words kind of represent what industries are being represented in the loans. So it's kind of quick presentation of what we're doing. Is there any questions?
There, Mrs. De Niro, you put a nice question on the table by the business people, is if we have the second wave and we face another shutdown, is that been discussed with the bank and be prepared for it if it's happened, what those businesses facing?
So I think at that point, we're going to have, we have a meeting scheduled later this week with the bank. I think if we need to change the terms, we're going to have to come back to commission. And I think we'll assess it as it goes. I mean, I don't think we really should make that decision until we know what the future is going to look like.
But the commission would have would be the decision maker on that.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, if at some point there is a shutdown, because the terms are 6 months, and then they have to pay the full loan back. It's a balloon payment. So if businesses are closed in 6 months, I think we have to assess whether we extend it another 6 months or what our options are at that point.
In my understanding is if the business can't afford to pay it back in 6 months, the interest rate would be 1% for 1 year. So they have another year option to pay it in full amount plus 1% interest. So, and then if they fail, if they didn't have the ability to pay in 1 year, is the bank have a backup system to give them the loan to pay off the loan, and then became as people who owe the bank for paying off their loan?
So I think if at any point there is a major shift in the economy, I think we, as the backers of that money, we need to come up with a plan B. Like I said, I mean, whether we extend the terms, whether we extend it over 2 years of interest-only loans, I think that's a decision we have to talk about and consider. And really, we have to look at all our options at that point.
Yeah, you just said the magic word, we should have a plan. And that it's really a very good idea to have a plan, because in the future, I hope it'll never happen again, but if we have similar situation, at least we know we have a plan in the past that worked or didn't work, and here what we're gonna do. You gain experience, you know what to do in difficult time, and be prepared for it. And even if things go smoothly now, I think we should continue to work on a plan and put it in a file to be able to deal with difficult time if it happens. Yep. So we should not relax because things working well. We need to have the plan.
Absolutely. And we're not relaxed. I mean, like I said, we're meeting with the bank later this week, and we're going to continue to plan and, you know, make sure we're prepared for the worst case scenario.
Excellent. Any question from the commissioner for Mrs. De Niro?
Yes, I have a question. This is Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Commissioner McCormick.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So for the business districts, because we will be using, and we're hoping that our or businesses, their clients will be wearing gloves and masks in and out of the restaurants. I was thinking, because I'm fighting this war on trash, what I'm finding is that there's more debris left behind of masks and gloves just kind of thrown in and out of the neighborhoods, the business areas especially. Have we thought about maybe putting trash cans, using funds for additional trash cans so that people can properly dispose of masks and gloves?
So we haven't really considered that from the county perspective. Usually for business districts, there's a DDA, and you know, they collect all the tax revenue to do things like put trash bins and, you know, clean up the area. So I mean, we can definitely reach out to the DDAs and see what their plans are for that. But I mean, that's absolutely a really good concern, and we should be addressing it.
I think I could comment on this issue, Commissioner McCormick. I think municipality, most of the time, the enforcer of the blight, elimination, and the cleanup sometime to enforce it. Most of the communities have the business responsible for their own waste. They have their own dumpster. They contract with the hauler themselves, but the municipality could, inspect the area of a blight. I think we really need to work with you on that. I know you've been trying to work on many important issues, and I appreciate that, and I commend you for that. And the blight, it's one of them. To eliminate that, we need to have you and all of us to support you, communicate with the municipality to see what can they do to help eliminate that problem in their area. Some of them have the DDA funding. Some of them, they have the TIFA, which it's the same almost. They could use a little bit of funding on that to support. And some of them have a millage for the waste millage. So, and the county should assist and lead, and with all what we know and all the resources we have. So we need to work all together on that, but the municipality itself should take the lead on that.
Right, and I totally agree, but I also thought, since we have these stimulus dollars, the CARE dollars, that they could also, the county may be able to help with that, even if it's trash bins on the thoroughfares, the county roads. And like in my district, it would be maybe on Greenfield or West 6 Mile. So I'm just thinking of ways in which we might be able to help in that effort.
We have to all work.
Okay, and in addition, just wanted to clarify the offers to businesses. You said there was 2.9 million out of the general fund. Is that correct?
1.9.
Oh, 1.9.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so of this 2.3, 1.9 is out of the general fund?
The 2.3 is from the CDE money, and that money is the money that's earmarked to be spent in only low-income communities. And then the 1.9 is from the general fund allocated money that can be spent anywhere throughout the county.
Okay, and so the 1.9, is that split, or is that totally ours? Because I thought we were splitting the amount of that is contributed or that is offered.
I'm not sure I understand.
So I thought the TCF Bank was our partner, and whatever dollars we would offer, they would offer the other half. Is that correct?
Yes, and that's why if you're looking at the graph, it shows $4 million because they have matched our $2 million. So yes, that is correct.
Okay, so of this 1.9 million, how much have they matched?
Well, there's $4 million in the total pot. I mean, it's a $4 million pot, and then at the end of the 6 months, when it's time for businesses to repay the money, the Wayne County money is the first. If businesses default, the Wayne County money is the first to be expended.
Right, but of this 1.9 million, I'm just trying to clarify what portion, because that's what was offered, right? The 1.9 total.
Yes, there is. Yes.
Of that, half of it is TCF, right?
No.
No.
The 1 million of 0.9, it's the county contribution to the program, and the TCF added another 2 million. It became $4 million.
Right, but what we spent so far is 1.9, or what we offered. What I'm trying to understand is that the money, the pot of money that we're looking at, the 1.9, TCF is putting in none. Is that what we're saying? Of the 1.9 that was offered.
I mean, I guess, yes.
Okay, and is there a reason why? I'm trying to understand, because my belief is that we would contribute half of whatever the offers were, and then that TCF would contribute half.
So the agreement and the understanding initially, we assumed that, there would be an overwhelming need for these loans. So initially it was, Wayne County would offer $2 million and TCF would match that $2 million, and there would be a $4 million pot, which there is a $4 million pot of loan funds right now. So I guess there's really no clear way to say, 1 million is from Wayne County and 900,000 is from TCF, because it's just one big pot of money. And what happens is when it's time to repay the loans, any loan payments that are defaulted, if any businesses go out of business because of the virus and can't pay back the loans, the Wayne County pot of money is the first pot that they will go to recoup that loan money.
So Wayne County have the first lien.
Yes.
Yes, it's very good, and I really thank TCF for agreeing on that. Usually the bank always want to be the first lien holder. And in general, Commissioner McGurk, the loan of $4 million, it's generated by 50-50 between the county and the bank. And then if half of it used let's say 1 million or 2 million out of the 4 million been used. Whatever been used, it'll be 50-50 between the bank and the county too.
Okay, but that's not what she just, Ms. De Niro just said. I think what she's saying, and I think that we're responsible for the first 2 million. And if it goes beyond that, that's when TCF kicks in their portion.
It's not my understanding.
So, I mean, it's one big pot of money.
It was generated by matching funds with each other, the county and the bank.
Right, but again, she just said that 1.9 million of these dollars was out of our general fund, not that TCF, half of this amount was from TCF. So again, I'm just trying to clarify what pot we are responsible for and what TCF of the 1.9 million. Who's responsible for what? And my understanding right now, we are responsible for the first 1.9 million. And Mr. Abbo, maybe you can chime in and help me.
My recollection from when we approved it, was that the first $2 million was ours, and they were going to add to it if there was additional requests. So the $1.9 million is county money. If there are any losses associated with it, we lose the first $2 million before TCF loses anything. And that was the arrangement that we had with them.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, I want to remind Mr. Apple, if there are any laws, but we have the first lien option.
Well, yeah, right. But that lien would alleviate any loss. If there was no collateral to attach and money was actually lost, it would be our money that's lost.
Oh, okay.
But yes, but we have the lien, but the assumption is if there's a loss, it means that that lien is effectively worthless.
Okay. Commissioner McGurk.
Thank you. I just wanted to understand, and so you just clarified that the first 2 million is out of the general fund. Any overage would then go into TCF's pot.
Right. They just agreed that, as Wafa had indicated, if the demand was significant and it went beyond $2 million, then it would be TCF's money.
Thank you.
But again, we would take the loss.
Okay. Okay. You done, Commissioner McCormick?
I am. I just wanted to clarify the numbers. Thank you.
Point well taken. Thank you. Any other question for Mr. De Niro? Seeing none, and I think thank you, Wafa. You did a good job, and keep up the good work. And say thank you to Mr. Rahal and Carol. And now we move the agenda.
E, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
There's nothing at the present time.
Public comments.
Anybody from the public like to comment? It's the time. If you could unmute everybody on the internet or the phone.
I would like to make a public comment.
Okay, state your name and your address, please.
There's somebody with a barking dog, but not me. My name is Bill Craig. I live at 20050 Milburn, Livonia. I just have a question. I thought this meeting started at 11, so I would be early, but apparently it's in progress.
No, it's not the same meeting, sir. The 11 o'clock, it's the public service meeting. This one, it's the economic development meeting.
Okay, they connected me to this one. Okay, I will speak to you in an hour. Thank you, Commissioner.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
You use the same code. Both meetings
Yeah.
have the same code. Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody from the public like to comment on the economic development agenda? Once, twice, again, anybody from the public like to comment on the economic development agenda? Seeing none. Next item, please.
Adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Support, Palomera.
Motion been made and supported. All those who agree signify by saying aye.
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 Oppose. Motion carried. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies, and hope to see you in